Hello, hello, everyone. Compliment of the season. I hope you're all good. Anyway, as you all noticed that I've not really come online to talk about these um Dr. Femi and Adetoun issue, I've not really come out to say anything about it because um it's a very depressing case. I've been involved in my own little way, but not going on a live show like this because, well, anyway, today's message has to go to Miss Adetoun. Miss Adetoun, how are you doing? I see you. You're not feeling comfortable, and that was the reason why you came online on Christmas to vindicate yourself, to clean up your name, and your body language shows so much about what you're really feeling. It shows that you are not happy. Uh, people really came after you. Yes, that's how it feels. Yeah. Anyway, I'm not here to criticize you, but I just need to point one or two things to you about activism. You see, Miss Adetong, you could have been a you could have been a good activist if you are able to watch your utterances and how you handle cases. I'm going to start here. This is where I'm going to start. You need to work on your composure, how you talk, and how you handle your case. Activism is not about thuggery. A lot of people don't understand activism today because majority of them has been misled. Whenever they think about activism, all that comes to their mind is who can shout, who can act rash. Activism has nothing to do with rascality. It has nothing to do with thuggery. Activism is a cause that only few understand. You have to feel it within yourself. You see, there are some things you don't learn in school. It is something you have passion for. Activism is a cause which anyone can embark. But there are things you have to put in place before you can call yourself an activist. Are you just? Are you fair? If you can't, if you know you are not a just person, that your justice, your comment is biased, it's your comment and judgment depend on who is involved. So you are not to be called an activist. An activist should be ready to fight for everyone, irrespective of the status, gender, you know. But a lot of activists today, even a lot of people, a lot of activists that have names, a lot of them, well, they really don't have passion for the cause. They just like to be called an activist. But only few that really cares about humanity. Yes, an activist should know when to talk, when to seal, when to be quiet, and when to fight with strength, not toggery, like I said. We can get angry, but not to be violent. No, not to be violent because you are fighting for a cause. And with this cause, you want to be just. You have to be just. You must be just. So acting like a thug is not part of activism. You can fight by keeping quiet. I mean, not by not saying anything. You can be an activist with your pen and with your speech. And if you must act, you must be in action. You have to think about your actions as well, especially when you are fighting for someone. Is this thing I'm about to do going to go against the person I'm fighting for or not? Is this thing going to go against my cause or not? There is time for everything. Now that you want to get into a case without investigation, all you have to do first is to just started shouting, being you become violence, that should be the last thing from any activist. Violence should be the last thing. Yes, it should be the last thing. An activist should try all means to achieve that cause. Violence should be the last thing. I remember Baba Ijesha case. I see the way a lot of people are attacking you already based on how you handle this Dr. Femi issue. Which is true. You are biased. The same energy you used on Baba Ijesha case is different from the same energy you used on Dr. Femi. Is it because Baba Ijesha is poor? Is it because he have no money? He have no body? And for anyone to prove to be an activist, you feel like you have to jump on him. You have to pieces him, you have to slaughter him. You have to disrespect him. Which your actions are not found in any activism act. Yeah. The patience you are trying to exercise now with Dr. Femi case, did you exercise the same patience during Baba Ijesha's case? No. No. To the point that you came after us that we claimed, not that we even said Baba Ijesha is innocent. All we were saying is that we shouldn't abuse his rights. Now you said you're an activist. An activist who practices done good justice, who practices instant mob. You are not an activist. But with your strength, if truly you care about humanity, you can retake your step instead of trying to tag activism with toggery. Two different things entirely. It's possible that you have a good heart, you want to fight for this cause. If you want to be an activist, you have to work on your behavior, your actions, how you handle things. Very, very important. Your composure, zero. Yeah, zero. Miss Adetoun, I'm not here to attack you. I'm just trying to point some things to you so that you can work on it, so that if you still want to continue calling yourself an activist, these are the things you have to work on. And not just you, Adetoun. To everyone out there who keeps calling themselves activists. Activism is not about choosing side. It's not a game, it's a cause. Activism is a cause. It has always been there, and so shall it be when we are no more. You getting my point? Activism is not about tolerating at all. At all. There is an act that backed up all activists. There is an act that backed up activism. You have to know this. Fighting for a cause does not necessarily mean how you can shout. When in activism, when we're talking about lending voices, lending your voice, it's not about ha, who, ha, it's not about making noise. Lending your voice by stating the fact, by standing by it, and by going through it, fighting for it, doesn't necessarily mean toggery, exchange of fists. No. Activism have nothing to do with that. Activism have nothing to do with that. So, when we're talking about activism, you should be able to work on your anger. You see, I'm a very emotional person as well. Very emotional. And when you're talking about anger, I have the premium one. But activism will help you when you are getting enlightened with how activism should be. You will know more. You will understand more. It is not about noise. It is not about toggery. It is not how you can shout, how you can fight. Fighting for a cause doesn't mean you should use the same techniques. What you are fighting, you should use the same key. You can't use the same key to fight what you are against. You can make your point. You can fight without showing your fist. Every time you're talking about breaking bottles, no. That is a shame. That is a shameful act for all activists. Yes, you can pass your message without using vulgar language, without being rude and insultive. You can quote your words without being aggressive. Make the opponent, whosoever you're fighting against, make them understand your point. If you see, we have different type of activists. We have some who are aggressive. And those are the things that comes at the last part. Maybe if the government are not listening to our voice, then you can be aggressive. And being aggressive with activism doesn't mean you breaking bottles on people. No. You can defend yourself, but not for an activist to start throwing forgo. No, that is not part of activism. Not at all, not at all, not at all. So if you have passion for activism, Miss Adetoun, kindly work on yourself, your interests, your composure, how you handle things. is very important. Very, very important. Very, very important. Be a good listener. Don't just attack people. Don't attack people for no reason. If other person is not on your part, your right is to make them understand, not for you to also be like one bish or sharing things like that. We all still remember how you handled Baba Joshua case. Yes, we do. I personally, I still remember vividly. All the actions you attributed is not part of activism at all. Not part of activism at all. And that's where we see a lot of people that like to call themselves an activist, that they only like to choose side. Like if this person is on the left, I have to be on the right to show who is more connected and who is more educated, well educated. It's not about that. Activism is just a cause, which you have to be just with whatever you're doing. If you're not just, forget about activism. If your child does something wrong, the same way you will handle it is the same way you will handle it if any of your staff, even your domestic staff, is involved, or a stranger. The same way you will go after the politicians, the government, should also be the same way you will go after normal people. You can't tell me you're looking for an evidence now, especially when there is so many videos to show that Dr. Femi is wrong. So many videos. Oba uploaded some videos on a Telegram. You saw all those videos, yet you're asking for proof. And that your voice that you learn that during Baba Joshua case that that's your thuggery. Where is it? Why are we not seeing that same Adetoun? The same Adetoun that said, "Won't be yala ya commissioner da." That same Adetoun, where is she? Sweetheart, my darling says, activism is not thuggery. It is a cause. Activism is a cause. Anyway, have a wonderful day.